Hello everybody, LegoBoy3 here, and today I'm going to show you how to solve the Pyraminx. So this method I'm going to be teaching you is just a basic beginner's method, and I'm going to explain to you what the steps are going to be, but first you need to know that this piece is a corner. I'm going to be talking about it like a corner. And so this is all one piece. The stickers that I'm pointing to, these three stickers, they're all one corner. As you can see, they're all interconnected, and you can never break it apart from each other. So there are four corners: this one, this one, this one, and this one. And the things on top of it that can just turn in three positions are called tips. And the pieces in between these corners are called edges. So what you're going to be doing in this method is, first of all, you're going to be lining up each of the corners in relation to each other. So you see these three corners are lined up. It doesn't matter if these edges or tips are out of alignment. These corners are lined up. However, you see these three are not lined up because this is green and these two are yellow. But these ones are all red. And you can see now these are lined up. Next, we're simply just going to solve the tips. And no matter what other turns you do on the cube, the tips will not be affected. So as long as you line up the tips with the corner pieces, they'll always be solved. So that one, that one, that one, that one. Then you're just going to do a couple of basic moves to move each of these edge pieces around. Moves like this, and it'll just move them around the cube in different ways, and then it'll just be solved. So to begin, we'll scramble it up just like this, just all scrambled up, and we're going to line up each of these corners like I said earlier. And so we're going to look at each corner, and we're going to find three of them that have the color yellow on them. So I look, this corner has yellow on it. This one, it does not have yellow on it, so we're not going to be using this one. This one has yellow on it, see that piece right there? And this one also has yellow on it. So these three corners have yellow on them. And so that means that this side is going to be the yellow side. And we can simply, I already have two of them facing up, and I can just simply turn this last one, and each of these will be yellow. So once you get one face with the corners, you can just turn it around and move this last one. It'll always be in one of three positions, and you see I can match it up, and then all these corners will be matched up. Let's just do that one more time. Look at this corner. This one does have yellow on it. This one does not have yellow on it, so we're not going to be using this one. This one has yellow on it, and this one has yellow on it. So we're going to be this side because each of these have yellow on them. And so we move this one up, so it's on the yellow side. We move this one up, so it's on the right side. We move this one up, and so it's on the right side. And so you see we have each of these pieces in place, and we can just turn it around and move the last one in place, just like that. And now the next step is very simple. You just align the tips, like I said earlier. So each of these tips, they cannot be affected by any move except just turning the tip itself. And so if you just solve them at this point, no matter what turns you do on it, if you don't turn the tips, which you won't have to do anymore, they will remain solved. Okay, so now that you have each of these corner pieces into place, you can now put all these edge pieces into place. So basically, the thing is, if you do a move, then you do another move, then you do the opposite of the first move, then you do the opposite of the other move, second move, it will not mess up any of the centers. However, it will cycle some of the edge pieces around. So you see, if I were to want this edge piece to be right here for whatever reason, I would put it into here, turn another side next to it, bring that back down, and then bring that back down. And you see this piece has moved from here to here. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're just going to put two edge pieces in, and then we're going to put in the third, and then we're going to move all these pieces around. So to begin, you're just going to look around the cube and see if you have any solved pieces. So there's one right here, and so we're going to be building off this one, so we're just going to solve another one that's next to it. So let's say this one. If you do not have any solved pieces like this, you can just start wherever you want, and then once you got the first piece in, you can just put the next one in next to it. So just to show you, I'm just going to start with no edge pieces in place. So to begin, we're going to find an edge piece that's one move away from being into its correct spot. See this piece, with just one move like this, you could put it in the spot. So if by doing that one move, you can put a piece in its slot and also have it facing the right way, so it's the correct orientation, just like this, then that's what you're going to do, is you're going to line it up like that, move another axis that affects this piece. Move the first axis back, and then move that axis back. And you see, just like I did before, I moved a piece from here to here. However, if you see you want to put this piece into this slot, like that, it is not facing the right direction. You see it needs to be flipped there. So what we're going to do is basically the opposite of what we did before. So first we're going to turn the other piece that we would normally turn second. So we turn it like this. And then we move the piece that we're trying to get in into the right spot, just like that. And then move that side back and that side back. And you see it is moved from here to here and switch directions. Okay, so I'll just do both of those cases once again. So we look around, I see this piece can go right into here with no orientation flip or anything. So I put it in, moves the other axis that affects it. You see only these two axes affects it. So we move the other axis, move this axis back, and this axis back, and it's in place. Now for this one, if I wanted to get this into here, we would also have to change the orientation because it's flipped. And so instead, we're just going to move this axis first, this into its spot, move that axis back, and that axis back, and you see it's in its right spot. So you're just going to want to practice a little bit, putting pieces in slots where you want them to go. And then once you have this one piece in a slot, we're going to try and put another piece into a slot next to it. This is basically the exact same thing. The only problem is you have to make sure you don't mess up this piece while you're putting this piece in. So for this example, I have this piece here that I already put in. And I see this piece, and I need to put it in here. If we move this the other axis another direction, move that back, and then that back. And now we have two pieces next to each other. Of course it works exactly the same way. If you need to put it in and it needs to be flipped, you turn this side first, this side back, and this side back. Okay, so you see that we have these two pieces in. And again, I'm going to want you to go back and practice that a couple times because it will be a bit tricky the first few times you do it. Now what we are going to do is we're going to put another edge piece in that's next to these two pieces. And so you see we're going to put this piece in because it's next to these two pieces. Make sure not to get it confused with this piece. We're not going to put it in here because that's on a side. We want to put it in here because that's like around on the triangle. So what I like to do when I have these two pieces right here is I put them in the back, just like that. So you see they're in the back. And we're going to look at this piece, which is the other piece that we want to put in. And you see in this case, it is red and green. And so we're actually going to put the red and green piece in this slot, which is the other piece, the other slot that's next to this one. And so you see, if we want to put this piece into here, we simply do that, just as we did before. And now that we have this piece here, we're going to put it in the opposite slot. And to do this, it's a little bit different. You're actually going to turn the top layer, just like that. And then you're going to move this piece into here, that. And you can turn the top layer back, just like that. And you see it's gotten into place. So I'll do that one more time if it was confusing for anyone. So you see we have these two pieces, these two edge pieces, we put them in the back. And we want to get this piece in. And this is the yellow and green piece. And so we're going to want to put it in the opposite slot, which is right here. And we can just put it in like that. And it's in. And since we want to get back into here, we can turn that, put it in, and then move the layer back, and it's in there. So now we're basically finished. Now that we have these three pieces in here, we can simply cycle these three pieces around, and which you can simply do by doing a move like you have done before. The easiest one is basically L, so turn the left side clockwise, R prime, so turn the right side counterclockwise, L prime, so turn the left side counterclockwise, and then R, so turn the right side clockwise. And you see we had these three pieces on the front and it cycled them around, and we're just going to do that one more time. And now they are all in the right place. But you may say that these pieces aren't in the right place. You see they're definitely not solved, but in fact they are in the right place, they just need to be flipped. So to do that, it's just a basic algorithm. If you don't know, an algorithm is just a sequence of letters that basically just mean to turn different sides. So just like I showed you a minute ago, you're going to start it off like this. L, R prime, L prime, R. And you just do that. And now you're going to do U, which is the top face, U prime, R, U, R prime. And it will solve your cube. So just to do the algorithm one more time, it is L, R prime, L prime, R, U prime, R, U, R prime. And again, make sure when you begin, you have the two pieces that need to be switched in the top. Okay, so I know I may have gone a little bit fast on that last step, so we'll just do that one more time. So we need to switch these three pieces around, so we just do a simple cycle like that. And then one more. And we need to switch these two pieces, and we just do that algorithm. And it's solved. So that's basically it. I know I may have gone through that a little bit fast and sloppily, so if you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comments below, and I'll be sure to answer them. And if you want to see a faster version, you can click on the link that you'll see in about 10 seconds in my outro, and that will bring you to a more advanced method. But that's basically it. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!